لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. بميك صلاة على النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام عليه الصلاة والسلام. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا فنسألك يا ربنا علما وعملا متقبلا. Only ilm is coming from Allah. That is why Allah asked Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام, he ordered them saying, وَقُلْ رَبِّي زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Say, O Messenger, O Allah, increase in my knowledge. So the knowledge is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to get knowledge, any knowledge, even the knowledge of cooking. You want to be a good cook? Subhanallah, ask it from Allah. I know one of the sisters, whenever she cooks, she makes ruqya on the food. The best food in the world. She's my mother-in-law. Whenever she's cooking, she's reading Quran on the food. Allahumma barik. And she's reading Ayat al-Kursi, and she's reading al-Ikhlas, al-Mu'awwidhatayn, and so on. And I look at her, what are you doing, mother? Are you making some magic or something? She says, no, I'm making ruqya on the food. You taste the food is amazing. Seeking the blessing of Allah everywhere. Okay, the marriage workshop number 3 today. We're going to talk about main issues, the psychological preparation for marriage, the criteria of choosing the spouse, which is, today I consider is one of the most important sessions that we need to have, that we need to keep it in mind, because this is how marriage will be based on. Your marriage will be based mainly on the second one, which is the criteria of choosing the spouse, the groom and the bride. Last time we talked about the motivations for marriage, the Islamic ruling on marriage. How is it wajib? How is it mustahab? How is it mubah? How is it makruh? How is it haram? And we talked about the 5 rulings. When do we have each one of them? Today we start with the psychological preparation for the marriage. An introduction for this, the marriage is a lifestyle. It's not one-time decision. It needs preparation, as everything needs from us preparation. If we do not get ready for the marriage by studying the marriage, by knowing how to be a good husband, how to be a successful husband, a successful wife. Just like anything you do in life, whenever you come to take a tour, to travel, to go anywhere, any different states, you make your own plan, you study everything. Before you make the decision, you look up on the websites to choose the best places in which you can go. So this is something like, long-term plan that we need to keep it in mind. The other thing that is preparation is essential. And the people say that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I need to plan for everything. It's not something chaotic. It is something based on a plan, based on arrangement, based on organizing it, without just saying, I will just do it, and then after a couple of days, we find the people, they divorce one another. And they say at the beginning that we love one another. So brother, please, if you want to have a new seat, you can have it here. We have some free seats here, okay? We're not going to have 3 saf, okay? We have free ones here. Approach marriage with seriousness. It is the greatest project. It is the greatest project in life. After being a Muslim, the greatest project that you need to take care of is the marriage. It's not something like normal. It's a family. It's a husband and wife. It's kids. It's community. And the community comes from here, comes from the family. Before I make a decision, I have to calm down. I have to prepare myself very well in this regard, so that I can get the best choice, inshallah. The core elements of preparation, my dear brothers and sisters, the core elements of the preparation, first thing, marriage is responsibility. Marriage is not a game. Marriage is a big responsibility from two sides, from the man and the woman. It's a big responsibility even before the marriage itself. Before you have a relationship with the sister and the sister have a relationship with you. It's a big responsibility when you take the decision that you're going to visit this family, that you're going to knock the door, say, Assalamu alaikum, I want to ask for the hand of the sister. It's a big responsibility to take that decision. It's a big responsibility when you talk to the parents, your parents, about this marriage. It's not something as a game, or we play, or we waste the time. It's a big responsibility given to us by Shara, by the religion. Because Prophet ﷺ, he said, أَلَا كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. That all of you are shepherd. That you take care of something that is under your responsibility and under your charge. And Allah will ask you about this responsibility. What did you do in it? Did you keep it? Did you waste it or not? So we have to know that marriage is a big responsibility. There is a family, there is a house, there are spouses, there are kids that you need to take care of them. This is not to make you scared, but to keep it in mind. And life is going to change after marriage. To be a strong man to lead the house for success, to be a strong woman who help the husband to succeed in his life, or to fall, both of you, because you give up. And this will come with us. In one of the points that marriage is not short term, it's a long term. It's a long term journey. And when we come to the marriage, we will come to the point that we need to understand that it's difficult, especially at the beginning, if you think it's easy, because we have some stories between some brothers and sisters, they love one another for years. And they talk to one another, they share stories, they text one another, they gift one another, but at the end, this is not the real love. This is not the real love. This is not the real relationship that we have, that we look for. The real one is after marriage. So that's why we have to consider that very well. Marriage requires sacrifice. If you want to marry and you're ready to have and to build a house, you have to be ready to sacrifice. Sacrifice with many things. Some people, they can sacrifice with money. So I can bring more gifts to make my family happy. If the money is going to make them happy, yes, I will sacrifice with money. Why not? For example, I don't want my wife to work. And the wife, she needs money. She needs to go and to buy things for herself. And that is called in Islam, الذمة المالية للمرأة. يعني the woman, she has her own bucket, her own wallet, that she can say bravely, this is my money. Women love something like this, to have something with them. One of the problems came to me last week. A very respectful man, a very respectful woman. They married for 20 years. And the brother said, I want a divorce. I said, come brother, let's talk. Bring your wife. Let's see what's happening, what's the problem. And then when we sat and I listened to their problem, I didn't find anything to write it in my notes, to reconcile it or to solve it, to give medication for it. I said, I have no problem with you guys. I said, how is that? Their only problem is that the man, he goes for shopping alone, he goes to Arash alone, and he doesn't want to take his wife. And they want to divorce. I said, Ya Habibi, why don't you take her? He said, because she may like something and I'll pay more. I said, okay, let's imagine that you're going to pay more. How much are you going to pay every time you're going to go to Arash? $30 more? $50? Ya akhi, imagine that you invite her for lunch. She looked at him like this. He never invited me for lunch. So this was, I was a reason to open a new case. So I told him, I beg you, please take her with you. Please go together. And say to her, honey, do you want to drink something? Do you want to eat something? And whenever I say something like this, the woman is looking like this. He never says that. Please. She says, يعني, he doesn't want me to go there. I said, Ya akhi, the women, they love to smell things. Wallah, يعني, my wife, she goes to the eggplants. She says, what are you doing? She has to smell it. Yeah. To make sure that it's good. Yeah. And this is their life. They enjoy this. And you have to respect that. Salat al-Asr, honey. Salat al-Asr. They're going to make iqamah. Imam of the masjid is in the shopping, is losing salah. Please, I beg you. So to control my temper, I stay in the car so she can smell everything, yani. Make it easy for her. Alhamdulillah. The brother, he doesn't want to do something like this. The sister is asking for some money. She wants to work to get some money to send it back home because her family, they need money. And the brother, he doesn't want to sacrifice to give like 50 or 100 or something to the sister. So she can save some money, send it back home. طيب, allow me to work. No, you're not going to work. Give me some money. You're not going to get any money. This is a problem. This is stubbornness. This is really bad. Where is the sacrifice? Ya Habibi, if the money is going to solve it with money. It's easy. The easiest thing is money. If the money is going to solve the problem, solve it with the money. With time. You need to sacrifice with time. I work the whole day. And I work for 2 jobs to be able to buy a house, to be able to have my business, my halal business, and to send my kids to an Islamic school, and to pay the bills and so on. طيب, are you spending some time with your wife as you take care of your work and everything? So, but she needs to be patient because she knows what I'm doing. Yes, Habibi, yes, that's true. But you need to sacrifice as well with some of your income, some of your time to sit with her. How are you doing? What happened to you today? How was your day? Tell me about your family. Did you talk to your family? Did you talk to your parents today? How are your friends? That you show that you are responsible for her, you're interested in her. This is life. This is life. This is the real life. And the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that we have hadith Zara. It's a very long hadith. I keep it for the end of this workshop, inshallah. I will read the whole hadith for you. A very long hadith. You're going to stay listening only 15 minutes reading hadith. One hadith. What is the hadith about? Is Aisha is telling the Prophet ﷺ some of the stories of women of pre-Islamic period. And Prophet ﷺ is all ears. And he's listening, 15 minutes like. And Aisha is talking and he's listening to her. This is a sacrifice. Do you think the Prophet ﷺ was free? He didn't have anything to do. He's the most busy man in the world. A leader, a prophet, receiving the revelation, fixing the problems, a commander, a warrior, a father, a husband of 9 wives. Allahu Akbar. This is the Prophet ﷺ. And he stays ﷺ, listening to his sacrifice. So marriage, if there is no sacrifice, the sisters, they need to sacrifice as well. The husband is coming to the house and I need to be waiting for him, preparing him some food or something, to prepare something for the kids, to take care of them, to study with them. Yeah, it's hard for me, but this is life. I need to sacrifice to continue. He's hurting me a little bit. The style he's talking, I don't accept it. If you do not sacrifice, you're not going to continue together over than 1 month. Okay? So you have to sacrifice, not on the expense of losing your karama, your dignity. No, never. I don't say that. But to be patient and talk and give another chance and another chance. And remember the outcomes and the results of the life of the married. So marriage requires sacrifice. If we sacrifice, we will have a happy marriage. Marriage involves acceptance of differences. Do you think that you're gonna marry a sister that is 100% similar to you? No, never. completely different character from the brother and completely different character in the sister. She loves something and you love something else. Even the food, when you come to the food, she loves a type of food which is like could be salty or something, and you don't love that. She loves sweets and you don't love that. She loves chips and you don't love that. Everything, like in the food, the way of life, when they come for, the time of sleeping. Some of them, they sleep more, the others, they do not. The hard time of sleeping and so on, The way of talking, the environment, the culture, the knowledge. All of this is completely different. And this is not a chance to be arrogant. That I'm better than her, or I'm better than him. He doesn't know anything. I know better than him. And I do everything for him. Without me, he will never be a man. She said that in my office. Without me, he wouldn't be here. And he wouldn't have this business. If that is true, keep it in your heart. Thank you for the information. You don't have to share it. I know one of the sisters, she's like, I can say the man of the house. And we say an example in Egypt, امرأة بعشرة رجال. يعني a woman better than 10 men. Like a very strong woman, amazing, taking care of the kids, of the husband, of the family, all the matters, the business and everything. And all the village, they know that the man is not that strong. Old man, and he's not that smart even. He doesn't have the ability to make a decision even. So people, whenever they come to buy something from her, Ali, bring a chair and put it here. Okay. So whenever they come to buy something from her, she says to them, please, could you give me 1 or 2 days, I think, and I go to my husband, I ask him and I consult him. I cannot make anything without him. And that's not true. That's not the case. She's showing that my husband is the man of the house. He's the top one in the house. I cannot do anything without him. And that's not the truth. And all the village, they know that. And subhanallah, the people, they respect that. And the people, that lady, she passed away. May Allah have mercy on her. I remember that day, her husband, he was crying, like bleeding, from his eyes. Tears, very strong. And he cannot move because of the shock when she died. Allahu Akbar. Because of what? Because they accepted the differences. Two completely different stories, differences. They accepted that they live together. If you do not accept the differences, you cannot live with anyone in the world. Because no one is going to be similar to you. You cannot live with anyone. This gives you the idea of tolerance, how to be tolerant. That you say, that's okay, honey. Okay, you can do that. You can choose that. We can travel to that place. And this is, the harmony comes from here. Comes from here. Accepting the differences is something important. If we are not ready to accept the differences, we are not ready to marry. If you are not ready to accept the differences of the person that you will marry, you're not ready for marriage. You have to think again. Okay? Whenever it comes to the point of a different thing that you dislike, or you choose a different thing, okay, and you will fight for that thing, you're not ready for marriage. You have to be ready to tolerate, to forgive, to say, okay, that's okay. This time is for you, and next time is for me. Why not? You come to the name of the kid. You say, I need this name. She says, no, I like that name. Okay, let's make qur'ah together. Yeah, lot, what do you call it? Lot. Casting the lots. قرعة فعلها النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. In naming, yes, you can do that. Prophet, he did, عليه الصلاة والسلام, قرعة بين زوجاته عليه الصلاة والسلام. Whenever he chooses a wife with him to travel with him, he would make قرعة in order not to make any one of them sad or something. Okay, so you come to the, okay, I'll name him this time, and next time, inshallah, you will name him or her. That's peace. These are differences. I don't like this name. People, they will say this and they say that. No, honey, let's talk, let's speak, let's pray istikhara. Let's see how will it happen in the istikhara. And subhanallah, for me, like Abdul Rahman, he came in the dream, for me and my wife. We chose the name. And then we said we're going to pray istikhara. She saw in the dream that his name is Abdul Rahman. I saw in the dream that his name is Abdul Rahman. That's something from Allah. That's it. It's so easy. We didn't have to argue a lot in this regard. Let's just take it to Shara, what Shara and religion says in this regard. And it's going to be easy. We're going to close the gaps. Marriage is a responsibility. Marriage introduces new duties, family, children, home. Emotional love is not enough. The responsibility is the key. If you say that the love builds families, that's not true. That's not the enough key. We need the responsibility next to it. Prophet ﷺ, he said, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Handling the responsibility. The examples like husband supporting the sick wife. This is a responsibility. The sister came here from one of the communities, and I told you before, she told me about her sickness, and she asked, beside that, she was asking for dua, she asked for divorce as well. Why? Because she said the husband is not supporting her. I know one of my shuyukh, he was patient with his wife like 10 years. I think I told you about this before. 10 years with cancer, and he's carrying her, and he's doing everything with her. And then she passed away at the end, but he did his job. He's not regretting for anything. One of the brothers, he married a sister here, and after the marriage, she got sick, and she went to the hospital. She had a surgery in her neck, and that was horrible for her. She cannot move. She cannot even take the clothes to take a shower, to go to the restaurant, to travel, to do anything. And he was doing like he was doing every tiny thing for her. And subhanallah, that built a very strong relationship. She can sacrifice with anything for the sake of that man. The wife copying with financial hardship. When the husband is having a problem in his business, I'm ready to give you out of my wallet, out of my money, out of my gold to help you. These are responsibilities. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He talks about this responsibility in the Quran, chapter number 4, verse number 34. الرجال قوامون على النساء. قوامون means they're responsible. Responsible in the house. القوامة لا تعني that I'm the man of the house, my voice is over your voice, you don't have the right to speak. You don't have the right to give any opinion. No, this is not al-qawama. Al-qawama means ri'aya. You take care of the one who lives with you. This is the real qawama. Qawama means responsibility. You're responsible for everything that you spend in the house. So responsibility and spending. And for women, Allah mentioned two characteristics and attributes. He said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ بِمَا حَفِظَ اللَّهِ. So the responsibility and the spending for the man and for women, they have the loyalty that they obey their husbands, and they are safeguard the honor. They safeguard the honor of the husband in the house. This is the true responsibility that we need to have it. Marriage requires sacrifice, as we said. No lasting marriage without sacrifice. Ask elders, ask your parents. How many problems did you face in life? From the very beginning of marriage, from the first point when you traveled, when you came to US, when you have the first baby, when you had me, when we came to this life, when you sent us to school, when you removed or moved from this house to another house, when you allowed the mother to work, and when you asked her to stop working. How many problems? They're gonna countless problems they face in life. Talk to them and learn from them. Marriage did not continue by itself without having any troubles. Ask the elders about this. Sacrifice makes love deeper and bonds stronger. Marriage means accepting the differences. As we said, the differences are part of human nature. And the total agreement is unrealistic. There is no total agreement. Like 60% compatibility, this is gonna be excellent for you if you marry someone who's like 60% similar to you. That's very good. Even if 50%, that's good. Lesser than this, that's not good. The daily understanding builds closeness. When you talk to one another, you get closer to one another. I want you to keep in mind some of these points after the preparation for marriage. Avoid unrealistic expectations. When you come to marriage and say, I will have the marriage, as if you watch a movie or series. The marriage will be something unbelievable. You expect something from the marriage that is not real. That you will never, for example, never face a problem. That's not true. You will never be tested. That's not true. You will never face a problem. That's not true. You will never suffer. That's not true. You will sleep safely every day and every night. That's not true. The life of marriage is something different. And you have to keep that in mind to be strong when you come for marriage. The first thing, that marriage is not just romance, looks, or income. Marriage is something greater than this. Marriage is musharaka, the participation between the two partners who marry one another. Marriage is an act of worship, equals act of worship plus divine help. Is an act of worship plus the divine help. You want to succeed? I have to do my best. And keep it in mind, the more you're close to Allah before marriage, and the more you avoid the haram before marriage, the more Allah makes it easy for you. And vice versa. If I do haram a lot before marriage, I'm not going to be successful husband or successful woman, successful wife. Why? Because my life is built on haram. I used to do haram a lot. So that I will see it in my life after that. One of the people, he did a sin. After 20 years, he saw the result of that sin. And he was accounting himself. He said to himself, I did that sin 20 years ago. If you used to mistreat your parents today, your kids, they will mistreat you tomorrow. If you used to be racist today, tomorrow somebody's gonna be racist with you. If you used to make fun of others, or you just release your eyes to look at the girls in the street and the sisters or anything, that will happen with you tomorrow. And you're not gonna have safe marriage. To have safe marriage, it needs a lot of tadarru'. Tadarru', getting closer to Allah. A lot of ibadah, a lot of act of worship. If you do not get closer, if I'm not praying, I'm not doing my obligations, all the time I fight with my family, all the time I disagree with my parents, do you expect that Allah will give you a gift of a good wife? Or do you expect that Allah will give you a gift of a good husband? That's not true. Because I didn't do something that I deserve it. I need to do something great in my ibadah, in my relationship with Allah. So Allah makes it easy for me. That's why they say, صنائع المعروف تقي مصارع السوء. صنائع المعروف, the good deeds protect you from the hardships. You may do something very slight today, and Allah makes it easy for you tomorrow, just because of that thing. And we have the hadith of the man, when he gave some water in his khuf, in his shoes. He went to the well, brought some water for a dog. The dog needed to drink. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive his sins because of, watering the dog, an animal. He got the forgiveness because of that thing? Yes. And on the other side, a woman, she did not allow a cat to leave the house, the room, to eat, to have anything that can, be a food or drink. And the cat died. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent her to hellfire because of causing a cat to die. Slight good thing could be a great thing for you in life. Slight bad thing could be a very severe thing in hereafter. And that is what Allah said, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. The first year is the hardest. Requires effort and patience. The first year, yes, the whole year, yes, the whole year. If you succeed in the first year of marriage, you succeed in the rest of your life. Yes. This is, mostly, is the year of testing one another. You look at your wife, she looks at you, you understand one another, or you disagree, and so on. The first year you have to do your best to pass it, to go on, to be tolerant, to control yourself, control your temper, to be responsible, to help, to succeed. In this year, the husband and the wife, both of you, you have to understand that difficulty starts right after being together in the house. For a year, you will disagree. Not necessary to be every day, but it will happen a lot in the first year. And people will say, or the parents, the families, if you talk a lot, and this is not something good. This is not something good if you talk a lot about your problems with your families. This is one of the main reasons people divorce. You know, if you have a problem, so it's between you I'm not going to say in the house, it's in one room. If you talk in the bedroom, so it's in the room of bedroom. It's not in the kitchen. It's not in the living room. Okay? You cannot, widen the problem to talk with everyone. She's doing this, she's doing that. And you complain against your wife, and she's complaining to her friends and to her families. And people are not cute enough to say, may Allah make it easy for you. No, they're going to say, call 911. It's going to be easy for you. Divorce him. Go to the court. That's your right. You're an American. A lot of cases. They came here. And he said, Wallahi, I regret I brought my family from Egypt to here. They're not from Egypt, but they used to live in Egypt. He said, I regret that I came here, because when I came here, I wasn't able to even shout. I said, this is not the problem. The problem that you have a problem before you come. You have to be loyal to one another. Even if you have a problem, even in America, you can solve it, even if there is 911. Why? Because you're not afraid of that. You can solve it inside the house. One of the rules, do not speak with your friends about our life, for the man. And for the sister, do not speak with anyone about the problems that we have. It's just a secret between me and you. Even the kids, they're not allowed to hear you fight. If the kids see you fight today, they will fight tomorrow with their spouses. And they will fight with you tomorrow. It's not easy. And you have to play that role model. Okay, so the hardest year is the first year, and that requires effort, that you learn, that you educate yourself, and then you become patient to continue with life. The criteria for choosing a spouse. As we said, the life's most important decision is the marriage. So I need to know, how can I choose? First thing, the dua that we have in chapter 2, verse number 201, Allah Azza wa Jal said, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Some of the believers, they say, oh Allah, give us hasana fi dunya. Hasana is good deed, is a good thing. وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً, give us hasana in hereafter. وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ, and protect us from the hellfire. The scholars, منهم Ali radiyallahu anhu, he said that the hasana of the dunya is the good wife. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا. You say that dua, many of us. How many of you did Umrah? You did that? You did the Umrah or not? Allahumma barik. So, do we use this dua in Umrah or not? When? Drinking Zamzam? And going to the hotel? And eating kushari Abu Tariq? What? When do we say ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة في الآخرة حسنة? Between الركن اليماني and الحجر الأسود, صح? The corner, the Yamani corner, and Al-Hajar al-Aswad, the black stone. In this corner, between this and that one, we say, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Oh Allah, give me hasana in dunya, hasana in akhirah, and protect me from the hellfire. So hasana of the dunya, scholars said, is the wife. If you get a good wife in this world, that's the hasana of the dunya. Allahu Akbar. That's why you need to keep asking Allah that. And for the sisters, you keep asking Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala to give you hasana in this dunya. And He could be the good husband. He could be the good offspring. So the dua, you need to ask Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala before you ask anyone else. Before you take courses, you attend workshops, you attend lectures or anything, at the end you need to ask Allah, relying on Him, asking Him for the help. That affects the happiness in the dunya and akhirah. Some people, they marry, they lose their deen and they lose their dunya. Subhanallah, because of a marriage. He may lose his dunya, he is losing his business, his money, and everything. And he's losing the hereafter because instead of obeying Allah, they disobeyed Allah. He became an oppressor. He oppressed his wife. He kicked her out of the house. And he's kicking the kids out of the house. This is oppression. So he's in hell, and that's because of marriage. If marriage is going to take me to hell, I'm not allowed to marry. I'm not ready for marriage. But marriage should be a tool of taking me to Jannah. When we have patience, you get Jannah because of your patience. When you make effort, you get Jannah because of your effort. I need to keep that in mind. The first thing, the spiritual preparation, which is making the dua, pre-qiyam al-layl, sunnah, giving charity, consulting the elders. Also perform istikhara with sincerity all the time. You choose a sister and somebody talked to you about it, one of the sisters. And one of the people, he told me, I made 1,000 istikhara, 1,000 times praying istikhara, 1,000 times to marry a sister. Do you have the patience to make 1,000 times istikhara? So, because it's not easy decision. It's something needed and at the same moment could be very dangerous. So we have to do the right thing. 1,000 times is making istikhara, asking Allah help. Don't prioritize the superficial traits, the matters of the dunya. The advices to married people. Do you have married people here? How many one? Okay, so we can skip that. You're a married man? Okay, so you have to be patient. You have to be content with your spouse whenever you see this, inshallah. Because not all of us are perfect. Okay, so you may see something that this is not my wife, or me as well. So you have to be content with that and make dua for one another. You make dua for your wife. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fixes her manners and fixes your manners as well. Teach and grow together. Attend lectures, circles of knowledge, educate yourself, educate your wife, give her some lectures, send her some links, YouTube channels, so that you can learn things together. I remember I served in the army before I married, like 1 year in the army. And I used to have a circle of a course of marriage when I was there serving, carrying a gun with me. I used to have like earbuds, studying a course of marriage. And I studied that complete course in the time of services. And when I finished, before I go to the family of my wife, I decided that this must be like a homework and a task for the one that I need to marry. And if she's not ready to listen to this, so she's not ready for marriage. When we sat together, I sent her all the series. You need to watch all of this before you decide anything, to make sure that you're ready for that. And alhamdulillah, she listened to all episodes before we have like any relationship or serious relationship and official things like engagement and khitbah and so on. So this is something important, educating yourself all the time to have successful marriage. The criteria for choosing a spouse. We have 11 elements all at once. First thing, Islam. Second, righteousness. Third, maturity and reason. The shyness, obedience and respect. Beauty, the noble family. Cleanliness, avoiding close relatives. And the love we're looking for, the responsibility, and this is for especially the men. Let's see each one by one. Islam, the one that you choose, whether you're a man or a sister. The sister, you must have a Muslim brother, a Muslim husband. You're not allowed to marry people of Ahl al-Kitab, Christians or the Jews. This is not allowed for the sisters. But for the man, you are allowed to marry a Jew or a Christian. But like an atheist, like idolaters who worship idols, agnostic people, all of this is not allowed. So must be a Muslim. Men may marry Ahl al-Kitab, the people of the book, the Jews and Christians, and this is in very limited cases. This is not, we don't say, go and have it. This is like, we say it like necessity. Necessity like what? Like aklu lahm al-maytah. That you're gonna die, so you're gonna eat some flesh from the dead animal. Why? Because you're gonna die. So this is the same case in marrying from Jews or Christians. Why? Because you're gonna do haram. You're gonna fornicate, and you don't have the ability to marry from a sister in the Muslim community, and none of the families, they accept my proposal, so I'm gonna do haram. It's wajib on me, it's an obligation. So you do marry from a sister from the Jews or the Christians, and this is like a necessity for you. Why? Because it's really dangerous. You go home, spend like 8 hours, and you leave the sister at home, and she's raising your kids. And she's Christian. She's worshiping the cross. She has the Trinity. And the Jews as well. So this is something really dangerous for the life and for the kids and for the families and bonds and everything. So it is allowed to marry, for the Muslim brothers to marry the Jews and Christians, but you have to consider the differences in the religion, and you have to keep it as a necessity. So Islam is number one. He has to be a Muslim. And she has to be a Muslim as well. The Muslim woman, they must marry Muslims from the men as well. Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala said in chapter number 2, verses 221, وَلَا تَنْكِحُ الْمُشْرِكَاتِ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنْ وَلَا أَمَةٌ مُؤْمِنَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكَةٍ وَلَا أَمَةٌ مُؤْمِنَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكَةٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ وَلَا تُنْكِحُوا الْمُشْرِكِينَ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنُوا وَلَا عَبْدٌ مُؤْمِنٌ خَيْرٌ مِّن مُشْرِكٍ وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكُمْ. Do not have marriage with the polytheists. The Muslims are the best for you. Even if they're not perfect, they're not well organized, they don't have good income like the others, but still, he's the Muslim. And this religion is what will save him and save her in the hereafter. Islam is the most important thing. The righteousness from the man and the wife. They need to be righteous. They need to have this kind of fear in their hearts from Allah Azza wa Jal. This piety in their hearts. They do the obligations. They do the commandments that Allah is asking them to do. This righteousness is going to do what? This righteousness is guarding the honor and home. Guarding the honor. He's leaving, he's traveling, and she's in the home. She remembers Allah all the time. And she's afraid that she makes something haram. And she knows that Allah is looking at her. And if she's not taking care of the kids, she's going to blame herself because she says, my husband is not here. I used to be the best with him when he was here. How can I do not do that while he's not here? Okay, I do not allow anybody to come to my house until I call my husband first. Do you allow my brother to come? My cousin with his wife are coming to visit us, Do you allow this to happen with the restrictions and the Islamic rulings? So that guards the honor and home as well. The righteousness, when you have the righteousness, you're guarded and safe. Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, he said in the hadith, تُنْكَحُ الْمَرْأَةُ لِأَرْبَعٍ تُنْكَحُ لِجَمَالِهَا وَلِمَالِهَا وَلِحَسَبِهَا وَلِدِينِهَا. 4 things that people marry women for. That for the noble families, for the money, and for the beauty. And he said, فَظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ تَرِبَتْ يَدَاكَ. So win with the one who has the religion. If you get the religion, so you are a winner. And that's the most easy thing for you. But if she's religious and she's rich, that's beautiful. She's religious and she's rich and she's beautiful, noble family, that's perfection. That's the best thing ever. But subhanallah, the perfection is for Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. You look for the religion first, number 1. In the sister and in you as well. And that's what Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِذَا جَاءَكُمْ أَوْ خَطَبَ إِلَيْكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ خُلُقَهُ وَدِينَهُ فَزَوِّجُوهُ. If someone who's religious, who has good manners, he's righteous, he's coming to you asking for the hand of the sister to engage with her, فَزَوِّجُوهُ. Let him marry her. Why not? Because he's not gonna pay the dowry of so and so. Her sister, she got gold of so-and-so prices, and she has to have the same thing, and the man has to be from the same country, and from the same race, and from the same background, or the same family. Why? He is a religious. If he's religious, you know his religion, keep him. Keep him with you. This is what you need. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he marries Uthman ibn Affan radiyallahu anhu from one of his daughters, Ruqayya. Ruqayya dies, he gives him Kulthum after Ruqayya. And when Kulthum died, he said, if I have a third one after them, I would give her to you. Amazing. Because he's unique in religion. He's unique in righteousness. So why I shouldn't choose that? Because, the body, the look is not that, but I know his religion, he's memorizing Quran, and he's making Taraweeh, and he's leading the prayer, and he's giving khutbah, and he's making Umrah and Hajj. So this is not enough for you? To have a man who's strong in his religion like this, And some people, they just deceive one another with the outlook. So we don't talk about this. We talk about the truthful ones. This applies to both men and women. The maturity and the good reason. In men and women, she has to be mature and he has to be mature. The way they think, the way they discuss things, the way they solve the problems. And this is how you build a healthy discussion. If he's still a kid, talking like kids, is not responsible, he doesn't know what he's talking about, just opening any issues or any things, he's not mature. He doesn't have a goal, he doesn't know how to plan things. He doesn't know how to save money, how to buy a house, how to rent from the halal way instead of resorting to haram, thinking about riba, thinking about the interest. He's not mature. If she doesn't know how to be responsible and take care of the money of the man and the kids, and how to respect the families and the relationship and to keep the bond strong, she's not mature. So maturity and reason, that's really important. The wise spouse supports in all areas. The wise spouse supports in all areas. The maturity seen in conversations, behavior, reactions. This is for those who say, how can I know that she's mature or he's mature? We said, khitbah, you know one another. In khitbah, you know one another. You sit together with the families, you speak. If if you ask a question, how's your college? And she says, we had a party today. She's not mature. She's not, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to ask about what you study, If she asks you, how's the work, and you say, you just criticize everything, and you don't know why do you work, and how do you save money or anything. You don't know why the goal you work, having an income or anything of something like this. You're not mature, If you cannot share your goals with her, you're not mature. If you cannot talk about the future of the husband and the wife and the kids in the future, your goals, your dreams that you love to achieve together and accomplish, you're not mature. If you just think about the minor things, how the wedding will happen, and we will spend so and so in the wedding, and we will rent so and so in the wedding. You just talk about wedding. You did not even mention anything about how to build a strong house, how to build a strong relationship. This is not maturity. The maturity and the reason is really important. Sometimes the people, they say that I marry a kid and a little girl. She sleeps like a little girl, and even they had kids and everything. She doesn't pay attention for him. She's not mature enough. She fights with the kids, and he's doing, the minor things become so great and so big because he doesn't have a wide and a wisdom, wide mind, like, he can solve this problem. This is minor things, just skip it. No, every tiny things he's talking about. Every tiny things. He comes to the house, he finds this couch, is not here, and another couch went there, and another chair, and what is that? And he's fighting because the wife, she changed. And by the way, women, they love to change places and things. So if you keep something, you have to take a picture before you leave the house, because a big problem is going to happen. And wallahi, many big problems. I said to my wife, please do not enter my office anymore, please. This is not allowed. Okay? So they love to change things, and they forget a lot, and you have to accept that. They forget a lot. So sometimes you find things in the oven, that's okay. You find it in the closet, she threw it anywhere, that's okay. They forget a lot. You have to be patient with that. They have pregnancy, and they have the kids, the breastfeeding, all of these things, they make them tired. So we have to be patient with that. So the maturity and the scene, this is seen in the conversations, the behavior, and the reactions when they go out with the families together. How do they react? Situations. All of this will judge will judge if he's mature or not, or she's. The shyness, which is al-haya. قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام إن لكل دين خلقا وإن خلق الإسلام الحياء. Every deen, every religion has like very famous and well-known moral, which is unique in that religion. The most unique moral and behavior in the religion of Islam is al-haya, shyness, in the man and in the woman. And the reality of al-haya is not to be shy and don't talk and like this. No, reality of al-haya, you stay away from all kinds of haram and al-makruhat, the disliked things. This is the real haya. But if I don't like to speak much, I don't like to raise my voice, but he's drinking alcohol. Does he have haya? No, there's no haya. She doesn't speak too much and so on, but she's making fun of his family. Is this haya? No. She's hurting the neighbors. Is this haya? This is not haya. The real haya, I do not do the haram. I stay away from the discouraged things, the disliked things. This is the real haya, that I need to have it in me as a man. And in women, it's needed more. In women, she's not allowed to speak like a man, or to walk like a man, or to dress like a man. She's a woman. She's a lady. She has great value in Islam. She is like the star in the sky. She is very hard to reach out to her. She is very shy. Even, she's shy when we have family gathering to express something before, talking with the man. This is not fear. The fear destroys houses, but shyness builds houses that dislike things. And the woman, she can read the man from his eyes. She can read the man from his eyes. The smart woman is the woman who knows the keys of the man. And the smart man is the one who knows the keys of women. Her key is a good word. Her key is a message in a paper. Wallahi, a paper, one paper. I love you. From time to time.